budget, I've got the pleasure to introduce two very long-serving members and certainly part of the furniture. Father and daughter, Phil and Abbie Thompson. I think over the course of the years, we've had the full family here, over the course of the years, and they've both got a story to tell. Yeah? So, we're going to go straight into it. Yeah? So, tell me what your routine was like pre your situation, what happened, we'll come on that shortly.
So, I used to come to the gym every single day.
Yeah.
Pretty much was doing all the classes, so metafit, spin, legs, bums and tongues, the bungee classes, and then doing weights and a little bit of cardio in the gym. So literally every single day.
Yeah.
And then.
Because you was also your sport at the time was underwater hockey.
Yeah. So I mean I don't play anymore, but at the time I was training for World Championships.
Yeah.
So that was just the main focus, just training for that.
Yeah.
And obviously fitness and fitness.
Yeah. And your brother, he was also
Yeah.
doing the same one. He was also. Were we doing the same team? Was it kind of like?
So I did it first because I'm obviously a bit older than him.
Yeah.
And then he the next year did it after me.
Yeah.
So I just carried on the training after I'd played anyway, just because I wanted to keep up my fitness, and then just playing on club level, you still need to be fit anyway.
Yeah.
And then when Harry started training for the Worlds, that's when he started coming to the gym as well.
Yeah, because like you say, when you were both trained, you was both literally religiously training, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a lot of cardio and a lot of intense. Like the metafits were really good for that, because obviously it's like HIIT classes, which is really effective for underwater hockey and obviously swimming in the pool.
Yeah, and then tell me what happened.
So it's actually 2 years ago on the 19th of March.
Right.
So pretty much coming up to 2 years ago now. We were on holiday skiing. In fact, I didn't even get to ski. It was the first morning. I had a seizure, really random. No one knew what was wrong with me. I think I was acting a bit strange in the airport, wasn't I? So you kind of thought, something a bit wrong here.
Yeah.
So I had the seizure. They rushed me to hospital. It was in Italy, so all foreign language, just a bit strange. Did all the scans. Everything came back clear, actually, didn't it?
Yeah.
Was it what's it called on your head?
Yeah, MRI scan.
Yeah. And then I don't actually remember anything after that. So for the next, I started to remember things I started to have a bit of memories in June. So from March till June, I remember nothing.
Yeah. And what was it? What was the actual condition?
So
what
it's called anti-NMDA receptor encephalitis.
Wow. Yeah.
Get that one out. So it's basically just an inflammation of the brain where your antibodies attack themselves. So side effects or symptoms and what happens to you is I had seizures. It's just I don't even know how else to describe it. So I just don't remember anything.
So before Italy, was it just complete? There was no kind of like warning. It was just literally you went to Italy and that morning
just
seizure.
You were a bit anxious, weren't you?
Yeah, like I said, at the airport the night before. I think I was probably acting a little bit strange, and I think did I have like a panic attack in the airport? Just because I was just worrying and anxious, like, we're gonna get there on time, and stuff like that. And then. So
then obviously, when you was in Italy there, just tell me about a little bit about like the hospital. Obviously, probably won't remember much. Probably your dad's world, you know what I mean? But because you was out for how many months were you actually out for in hospital? Because you was in hospital.
4 in hospital.
So you was in 4 months in hospital, didn't you? Yeah.
So in Italy, I think I was in there 3 nights, then 1 night back in the hotel, and then we flew home a day early, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did.
Straight to Tameside Hospital. Was it 10 hours in A&E?
Yeah, 10 hours in A&E.
And I was just
horrific.
Yeah, I just relate to people's stories as well that they've told me, because I actually don't remember it at all. So pictures sometimes jog my memory, but stories that people have told me. But I was just acting really strange, wasn't I?
So what? Probably the most, the worst thing when you're a dad, when you're a parent, when you see one of your own who's really, really poorly. What was it? What happened, Phil? In terms of what went on? What kind of happened?
It was all just a shock, Mark. Cause it was very out of the blue, random. Like these things just come along when you have no warning. So and Abbie was clearly unwell, rushed in a hospital. We were 40 minutes from the hotel, from the hospital, at the resort, so we just had to kind of wait. You're in the hands of the medical team, and we waited. And she came home. She came back to the hotel for a day, but then that night we had a night the weirdest night I've ever remembered, where she kept us up all night. We didn't get a wink of sleep with these random thoughts and weird goings on. You created a universe,
I was
didn't you?
telling mum and dad that I'd created an apocalypse or something had happened.
Yeah.
It's really strange how it affects your brain. I don't really know how to describe it.
Because when you got to Tameside, you was in there because you know you and Kim obviously were there literally. I mean, you did kind of shifts, didn't you, really, with each other? You was always there. So, what happened at the hospital in Tameside, as in terms of what happened really?
Was I there for 10 days or something?
I think you were there just short of 2 weeks at Tameside,
Yeah.
2 locations, and then we moved to Salford
Yeah,
Road.
because there's a neurology specialist place there, so that's why we went to Salford, which is much better.
Yeah. So obviously then, you know, I remember then when you came out of hospital, you had like your period of time at home, you was ready to join, you know, not join but start back up at the gym. You know, we obviously got together, didn't we, and having a bit of a chat there, because obviously I think you was very eager to get back and desperate. And, you know, your body shape changed, and I think, you know, because how much weight did you gain, Abbie?
2.5, 3 stone.
2.5, 3 stone, and obviously...
That was probably like the most. It did come off quite naturally because obviously coming off the medication that I was on.
Yeah.
But like, when I started to come round and I realised, and I was actually starting to remember things and actually realise where I was, and then I noticed what I looked like, I was just mortified.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Do you know what I mean? Because you were so in shape and literally led a purely active. Exercise, health and well-being life, and then you had the situation there, and obviously you've come out with 3 stone heavy because of medication. What happened, and obviously being completely inactive. You know, and I can imagine how desperate you were to get back, and I think we had to kind of just put the reins on a little bit, didn't we? A couple of times because you wanted to
slowly.
Yeah, I remember at the start it was just Zumba or the lighter sort of cardio things. I couldn't do Metafit because of the whole that up and down.
But you very quickly responded, didn't you? And then we phased more exercise back in, and now are we 2.5 stone, 3 stone lighter?
Well, an extra half a stone because of lockdown. Pretty much the same as I was, bar half a stone.
And do you have anything like any kind of knock-on medical effects from it in terms of?
I have been taking medication up until, in fact, in 2 weeks I will be medication free. So they've started to reduce. I was on anti-seizure medication, obviously, to just as a precaution, just in case anything was to happen. When I was in hospital, they did actually treat me for the condition. Yeah. But then obviously there's tons of medication as precaution afterwards. But in 2 weeks I will be on nothing. Yeah. So,
and pre-COVID, forget COVID at the moment, okay. What was that? What was your routine kind of like before we shut down? Because you was pretty much almost back to normal to a certain extent, weren't we, in terms of your exercise regime?
Yeah, so just before COVID, I'd gone back to work full time.
Yeah.
So I was working and then coming to the gym, which was pretty much my weekly routine: work, gym, work, gym.
Yeah.
And then COVID stopped, so we were, working from home. Working from home, and then were the gyms open then? Did they close straight away? I can't remember.
Yeah, 23rd of March did they close, and then
they
reopened in
so
June,
They've
July.
been closed more than open the last 12 months.
Yeah, we were running Metafits on Zoom as well for people at underwater hockey, so I was joining in with that in the garden, which was actually really good in summer because the weather was great. And it was more motivating to do it outside. Like this second lockdown has been horrendous because the weather's been just rubbish, and it's just been really hard to motivate yourself. I've not really done any Metafits, even in the garden, because it's just wet and cold. So
we did do one outside in the rain, didn't we? But it wasn't as enjoyable.
No, it was just awful. So the first lockdown was just much better. Yeah. So I was still maintaining quite a lot of the exercise just at home, or trying to.
Yeah. No, this is why we're going to come to your dad in a minute, because it's like the medical podcast, do you know what I mean? But you had obviously a major trauma medical wise, completely out of the blue, no lead up to it at all. Your whole family went through such a traumatic time. But what's good now is that you've actually come through it. You're going to be medication free, hopefully very soon, and you can now back to your pre-Italy routine to a certain extent, and obviously your figure, your weight, your fitness there, it's almost pretty much back. Barring lockdown, which you've got nothing to lose whatsoever, my I add. Just want to put it out there. But what a circle, what a story that's been. So well done. Well done. Now, next one. So, Phil, what was your workout regime pre your medical episode?
It was fairly consistent. Lots of early morning sessions.
Yeah.
Usually 4 or 5 mornings a week in
Yeah.
the gym here, and then 3 or 4 evenings as well. As well as the swimming that I do regularly, or did regularly.
Yeah.
So it was pretty consistent. It was a good level and just pretty enjoyable.
You obviously underwater hockey is your sport,
Yeah.
and obviously you competed at quite a high level, didn't you?
I did, yeah, and hope to still do. Who knows?
Yeah. Is it in the vets category now, mate?
Not quite, Mark.
Oh, the Masters.
It's a Masters.
The Masters.
The vets would be 50 plus. So I
Yeah.
haven't quite made that yet, but who knows?
And I think he's obviously put there, obviously with the underwater hockey, the lung function and that kind of explosiveness and that kind of high level of fitness is absolutely imperative in it for your sport. You know, it's not like, you know, no respect, but like a high jumper. It's not that same type of a kind of that aerobic anaerobic fitness there.
Yep.
You've got to have that lung function, what's really kind of, and obviously that cardiovascular fitness. So then you did the mornings. Yeah, you was very much a regular face at the door before Simon got here probably. But you was there every morning, you trained hard, you did the routines, you did a balanced workout, you came back at night, you did it as well. Then you went to swimming as well, so arguably you was like just pretty much a full-time athlete.
It sometimes felt like it, It was enjoyable to have a good routine like that. And of course the part of the attraction was coming in the early mornings was the good banter, the good camaraderie. You know, there was a small group of people, but it was a good crack.
And we did one of the first ones with Jeanette and Vicky, and obviously they're part of the early bird crew. And I said, you've got to enjoy it to come out at 5:30 in the morning to go to the gym, or get up at 5 in the morning to come. And I think that, you know, I obviously I've done the shifts in the morning, done the classes. Then it's such a good group of early bird morning crew. All banter, which brings me then to obviously your medical episode. So that morning, what did you do?
Well, what went wrong was we didn't have Simon. Everything was going really well when we had Simon. You know, I just want to stress that when Simon did it, it was fine.
You were in the gym in the morning, weren't you?
Yeah, so, I had to cover. I covered a shift.
And
it was a spin class I
did. On this particular occasion, we didn't have Simon, so we had Mark instead.
Well, you've had me before though, mate.
I don't remember that. I just remember the one occasion, if I'm honest.
Yeah. So you did the spin in the morning, and we, you know, it was good banter, and we got your heart up, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a good solid spin class, And as you know, I generally stick to the sort of mid 80% on the heart rate, but just because it was you and a special occasion. Yeah,
but also had another 14 people also shouting and encouraging you, saying, Phil, get to the red.
I'm pretty sure the room was empty.
The whole room was egging him on. Let me tell you, I was just kind of like, what's he called, that composer at the front, do you know what I mean? But everyone in the class was all egging him on, saying, come on, Phil, 1 more % to get tonight, so the full red screen.
Normally, my heart rate just kind of matches out with me. On a run, it'll sit in the red quite happily, but on the bike, it just seems to stay below it. But of course, so there was, I could hear Mark, I couldn't hear anyone else. Apparently there was other people in the room, but I'm oblivious to it.
So you went to work.
I did, I went
to work fine, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a meeting in the Midlands, so I drove down there and I had a meeting at a client, and I had a bite to eat, and then we had a walk around their warehouse, and then something happened.
And what happened? We're laughing about it now, do you know what I mean? Yeah, but I remember seeing the text. What happened, Phil?
Well, unfortunately, I had a stroke, just again, completely random out of the blue, no warning. And very fortunately, I was in a meeting room with some clients and some colleagues, which they recognised the signs of it, the classic sort of drooping face, etc. And they called an ambulance. At the time, I vaguely remember thinking, why are they calling an ambulance? There's nothing wrong with me. Yeah. And then I remember being manhandled to the floor, obviously, so I didn't fall. And again, I was thinking, why are they doing this? I'm pretty sure I was trying to wrestle one of them. Because I was thinking, why is he trying to be on the floor? I'm not in any of that. Anyway, then it was the ambulance came and the classic, blues and twos and into hospital, and the rest is sort of well documented. Yeah, you know, I remember the day I saw the message come through and I was like, no way, because A, I did the spin in the morning and it was a tough spin, and B, for someone who trained as much as you did,
and to the level you did, and the fitness required for underwater hockey in particular, to be one of the best cardiovascular functions known, and the heart rate, your heart rate, literally, it takes a lot to get it up there, do you know what I mean? To then say that you've had a stroke, I was like, I remember texting Si. I was like, you're not having a day off again, mate. You're not having a day off again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
so what happened from the hospital there? Because obviously you've gone through multiple tests to try and establish what actually happened, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was very fortunate because obviously it was out the blue. The fact that I was fit and healthy and you know didn't have any pre-existing conditions, that helps you, you know, to make a quick recovery. But really, I was just fortunate to get to hospital and they got this. They administered this drug which basically dissolves the clots. Yeah. So getting that within the magic hour is really, you know, the key to it. So I'm very fortunate. Yeah, again, the wonderful NHS and the staff in this hospital. You know, you don't know these people, you rushed in, etc. Yeah. And I was in there 3 days. They did some more tests and then they let me come home. Yeah. And
obviously from that point to here now, you've had to go on, you've had to really rein it in with your exercise, because obviously you had to then start that recovery, that kind of rehabilitation phase. And I think that was challenging for you physically, but probably mentally as well. Yeah, it's a serious thing. Yeah. I mean, it was difficult to comprehend that A, it had happened, and B, it was serious, because especially as I didn't feel unwell, it's not painful, but obviously it's serious, and you've got to just take heed of it. So it was a case of I couldn't drive for a month, which is a bit Abbie, because she could drive for a year.
It was actually a year and 3 months when I got my licence back. Yeah.
So Abbie was driving you around then, she like a chauffeur.
Yeah, exactly, So all the favours were getting returned. So I couldn't drive for a month, and then I had to just kind of take it easy. Yeah. So what I did is, I just, obviously I was off work, and it was just prior to COVID kicking in. Yeah. So I just walked. That's all I did really. Yeah. And you know, and one important thing as well is that even I was still wearing the MyZone. Yeah. I still managed 1,300 meters in a month. Yeah. Just walking.
And I think, you know, and this is not a sales thing for MyZone, but I think that helped you with your rehabilitation, because you could monitor your heart rate while still having the target of completing reps per month, and I think that helps as well. Yeah.
Well, the doctors told me to keep my heart rate low for like build it up over 3 months. Yeah. So you can using the monitor, you can actually see where you are, which means that because even if you go out for a walk or if you go climbing the hills, you can still get your heart rate up.
Of course, yeah.
So it was quite a good tool for recovery as well as just training.
Yeah, and obviously, well, this year's been an absolute nightmare. But have you been back in the pool? Have you managed to get a little bit of swim time in, or?
We got about 6 weeks in when the pools reopened, but then it went down to Rule 6, Rule 3, so it got really difficult and then it closed. But we did get a little swim in, which we're quite fortunate around here that we got a pool up. Other parts of the country got nothing for well over 12 months now.
Yeah. So both certainly had a medical story to tell. Obviously, a lot of people obviously out there who might have had a medical situation themselves, it is always possible to come back. You know, you just got to have that kind of right. You'll go through the barriers and the challenges what come with it. Yep. But I think you certainly can. You both had 2 major medical episodes there, so we say. But you're both looking very fit and healthy now and raring to go back, aren't we?
Yeah. Looking forward to it, aren't we? Yeah. I think that the thing is as well, the takeaway is that if you do keep yourself fit and healthy, you don't know these things are going to come along as they have done with us. But it certainly helps you to recover and to sort of survive these things. Because
we'll say exercise builds your immune system. I think once you've got your exercise in like you have done consistently in the right way, your immune system does support. Will help. Do you know what I mean? And muscle memory always comes back there as well.
Just the one thing we shared, of course, is they never found out why.
No. Yeah, for both of us.
Yeah, exactly. It's all inconclusive.
She worked my spin class. There we go. So you always put that.
The doctor just said, "Go back to Simon."
And just moving on now, if we wrap it up, obviously, ASV, not just a gym, it's a community facility as well. I've had the pleasure of working with some of your younger athletes in the underwater hockey, so doing some of the MetaFit stuff, some of the HIIT step. We did a couple of sessions down there, and it was really, really good. And it was a great group of young people who are eager to support each other, motivate each other, but I think as a team unit, they're very much a solid unit, and you obviously leading that with your coaching support. It's a really good organisation. Just tell me a little about, you know, the hockey club, the Underwater Hockey Club, how it started, where it's going to, where it could go to. Both.
Okay, yeah, I can tell a little bit about it. We've conscious that we haven't got all night. We've got one for a long time. But in the local area, we've got an underwater hockey club.
Yeah.
We're called Zarifa Underwater Hockey. We're a junior and adult team, and we use pools around the Tameside area.
Yeah.
So we're always looking for recruits, you know, young people to come involved and parents to get involved as well.
Yeah.
And there is a progression plan through GB hockey into playing, you know, for your country. And as you've seen, Abigail played. Matt Harris played, and we brought other people as well from the local area in that have used the gym facilities.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity. And as lockdown releases and we get back to pools, you know, so we're always looking for new recruits, people to get involved, you know, make sport accessible for everybody.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you very much for your time coming in and sharing your stories. Yeah. I'm glad you're both back fit well. And we look forward to seeing you back after COVID, back in the gym, back in classes, and back to some type of normality, whatever that may be.
Yeah. And just a big thanks to you as well, Mark, because putting these on, even though these are a bit of banter, and all the classes, online classes that you're doing, and the general promotion of the community, it's fantastic. So yeah, bring it on, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Let's look forward to getting back in the gym, mate.
Yeah. Perfect. No problem at all. Well done.